Perfect.
Crypto Warriors, Stack Nation, welcome back to the channel.
Champions!
And top of the morning
Yes,
to
sir.
you, ladies and gentlemen, man. It's a beautiful Monday.
Beautiful morning.
Double up, Babu. Are you still on the singing mission, bro?
Hey, that's what I do, man. I love to sing.
Hey, man, it's all good, man. You know, who knows? He might be the Drake of the next generation. Yeah.
Can Drake really sing, though?
Yeah.
Or is he a good rapper?
Nah, bro. He does both. He does both. You know, haven't you heard when he first came out, like the old songs? Were
Oh,
pretty,
yeah.
exactly. Well, anyway, let's jump into the situation, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on this Monday. It is a
Thank you.
beautiful one. Bitcoin seems to have been
Pumping.
going for a little bit of a walk in the park.
You call that
lately.
walk?
Well, you know,
With
look,
jumping, man. That's what you go trying to go to the moon.
I don't know. I think Bitcoiners get excited too quickly. You know. Listen, man. I've been on Twitter ever since this thing started running up.
Hey, 29% in just 1 month.
I get it.
That's
I
a
get
major move.
It is a major move.
You don't
but,
see that in the stock market
This
unless
is-
you have an altcoin, though.
but here's the thing. This is what Bitcoin is, though. You know,
Yeah.
it moves majorly like
Yeah.
this, right? So I think, but at the same time, you know, it also pulls back massively in the same way. So I think the Bitcoiners are getting excited too early because then, you know, Peter Schiff is going to be back at it in a very little bit. So
Relax.
exactly.
Go and buy gold.
Absolutely. Go buy gold. Well, double O, man. Today we're going to
Champion.
be taking a look at, oh, by the way, I was going to say Bitcoin currently trading at $22,816.
Not too bad.
On the 4-hour chart, it actually looks like we're moving back a little bit. So,
Yeah, it has some weakness.
Yes.
It's being bearish at the moment.
yeah, I think maybe we might see it somewhere around 24K-ish before a pullback. But
It at a good resistant level when I looked at it. So if it fails as resistant, we're going down some more. But if it holds it, we're pumping up.
well, listen, I am not done loading Bitcoin, so I would like to see this keep going south,
Yep.
honestly. All right, so what are we looking at today, man? We're looking at some money laundering activity
Big
going
major
on
people,
in the crypto
man.
space.
Big names.
Right? This chart that you sent here,
Yep.
it's a very interesting one. I do have to share my iPad, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, just
work
let me
on that.
know. I'm
But,
ready.
yeah, definitely. But tell us more about this. Obviously, this is about we're looking at the DCG situation as well as GBTC and the whole entanglement with
All of them.
FTX.
The entire space is
Right.
on shaky grounds, man. It's like building a house, not on solid ground, but in a muddy putty.
Preach.
Oh, guys, this thing
Yeah.
is terrible.
Look, the way I see it, man, I think it's a simple case of money laundering, if you ask me. You know?
Oh my goodness.
Now, but I'll let you go ahead and get this one going.
Yeah, so you know, as you guys know, yeah, if you want to see more of what we do, check us out on Twitter. We were on Twitter, you know, of course, also on a bunch of news channels, studying and trying to figure out what's going on in the space. If you're investing in anything, you want to know about your investment. If you're about a revolution, you want to study up on your revolution and know why you're part of that revolution as well. So as we study more about Bitcoin, also you want to know about what the external influences are. So as you guys all know, FTX, Grayscale, GBTC, DCG has been the biggest talk of town now. And we started reading into it, and then this chat comes up on Twitter, and I was like, oh snap, let's go ahead and take a look. And folks, what we saw here is scary, very scary.
Absolutely. So what this is from front. What is it called? Front.
Oh, the guy that shared the
Yeah, it's John Cook on
yeah,
Twitter.
yep,
Right, and
yep.
I think it's called Front Run John.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's what I
Yep.
was trying to say.
Yep.
Jeez. And he draws out this chart, which we have here, and I think that it is very interesting when you browse this chart and have an idea of where the money is flowing. Right.
Always follow the money, bro.
Exactly.
Always follow the money.
Now, obviously, over the past, over the past couple months, we have seen that there's been a lot of bankruptcies in the space. And as things have unfolded, I think DCG and what is the other one called? GBTC have kind of come out to be these two entities that could essentially take us to
10K.
to 10K. Exactly. To-
Oh, sure. That is minus the fact that the blocking Binance, the biggest exchange
You're
from
right.
the Swift system, started February 1st.
Eh,
So we might have a spike and then a crash, but
well,
I'm sure Binance will find a solution.
I'm sure they will. They always there's always something going on in this space, right? And
Yep.
I think they've probably been through many battles.
Yep.
Will Binance succeed in the end, though? Do you think Binance will be here 5 years from now or 10 years from now?
Binance, I feel like they have a great connection of people.
Yeah.
So the show will be around, I think.
Right.
I don't know if Binance is fraudulent as bad as what we had going on with FTX and everything,
Yeah.
but it's only a matter of time before you find out. Right now, we don't have any information on any fraudulent information on Binance. But I think it was by chance. Excuse me. It was by chance that Binance screwed up FTX. By big chance, actually, I think it was a huge mistake, and next thing you know, everything just started unraveling. It wasn't planned.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, look, here's the thing. Here's the main chart we want to talk about today. And we just want to overview this with everyone, right? Just kind of tracing what is happening here. Because when you sent this and when we looked at this, maybe I don't know what money laundering is, but this looks like money laundering to me, right? So this chart here essentially is just showing the flow of money, right? From the point where you and I, as a consumer, have
Yep.
our money on the exchange.
Basic economics.
Right. Well, I don't think that is something that exists anymore. So it's yeah. But just like a rundown, I think this is very interesting because it would seem that this is a crime. However, for some reason, no one has gone to jail yet, or it's not been made very clear that someone will be going to jail for this. Because I'm pretty sure, if any one of us was to carry out something like this, it would be an issue.
Bro, there's some big names in this thing, man.
Exactly. So these are the areas where I'm finding some issues, right? So we have Genesis and BlockFi here, which is where our funds we generally hop onto
All the retail
exchange.
investors, right? The
Right.
basic people. Maybe
Exactly.
Robin Hood all the way on the far right.
Right, including someone who might want to launder some money, right? And then we have this situation, which, as Genesis mentioned, that they would lend your bitcoins and then they receive some yield. That is happening here,
Yep.
right? But then where the issues now really start rising is that we have the situation where there's 3AC and Genesis lending Bitcoin and lending USDC back and forth to each other. But then when I trace it, it seems like the real money is still here, which now moves forward down to Grayscale
Grayscale.
Bitcoin. And then there's
That
this
is the $1 billion tool.
yeah, exactly. So I guess now that's where some of my questions come in, right?
Yep.
How is I know Grayscale says they generate all this revenue in fees, management fees, and so on. But then my question now becomes, how are they funding? Unless they're just using all of this, management fees to run this whole program. We see that there's a consistent pattern of them sending this GBTC to all these various companies, right? And that is how it's kind of spreading around. So, what is the value of GBTC? How did they obtain that value? Is my question here.
Yeah, and there's a lot of lending of BTC. What BTC are they lending back and forth?
Well, this is with the customers' bitcoins.
Yeah, but
Based
is
on
it is,
how-
is it the real bitcoins that we're buying from the miners, and or the bitcoins that GBTC all of a sudden printed out of tin here?
This is true, right? But I think following this, you then see that at the end of this whole thing, right, your money ends up with BlockFi, which now ends up on FTX, which
Yep.
now ends up with Sam Bankman,
Yep.
right? And then it ends up in
Alameda
Emergent.
Research.
So at this point, there is no return back of your money. Now, if you ask me, I mean, I think that is money laundering right there.
Seems
Yeah.
like all your money was going out for their own objectives.
Exactly.
Your money out to Robinhood. Your money out to SBF to do whatever they want to do. Kind of like what the banks do with your money. They take your money. Well, you get 0.01% back.
Right.
This chart is not showing any of your money coming back. It's just going to Alameda Research. Alameda Research is doing whatever they want to do with your money. SBF, Stanback Fred, is doing whatever they want with your money. Emergent gets your money as well. and then indirectly invest with Robinhood, I wouldn't be surprised if there is an indirect connection between Robinhood back into Emergent, back into Grayscale.
Yeah. Well, I think it seems like a quite an elaborate scheme, obviously. And at some point in time now, we just see DCG and Grayscale are in the picture, right? What is it? Is it the Winklevoss guys?
Yeah,
Accuse these guys of fraud,
yeah,
right?
Genesis,
And
right?
right, and so now you have to start taking a deeper look into it. It makes me wonder. All of this money, which is being laundered at this point, I don't think it's all user funds. So whose money is being laundered here?
Or who are they laundering the money for? Because
Exactly.
for organizations like this who are not fully registered with the SEC, and you're moving billions of dollars on the daily, millions of dollars on the daily without raising any flags,
Yeah.
and the SEC the whole time is going after the little guys, whereas these guys, literally their friends, are doing all of this. Come on now, ask the question.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, I don't think I'm no massive economist, but if you look at the basics of it, man, it looks very much like money laundering to me, right? Now, of course, we have this other chart here.
Yes.
Which one is this? I know we're following the money, but this one was straight up confusing to me. And if anyone in the comments, if you guys have taken a look at this as well, let us know what do you guys think.
You want to share
Does
that
this
screen?
not? Oh yeah, let me change that. Would this not qualify as what I don't know? Some would say money laundering.
Actually, it's even
Because it
worse
seems pretty clear to me.
because it seems like the SEC is involved in this as well. So if you see to the far
Also,
left, you have the SEC.
right.
The SEC protects, right, the retail brokerage funds, right, which then indirectly protects GPTC. So that $1 billion that the Grayscale was able to get registered as the protection of the SEC. Now, ask yourself, is this the federal government or whoever it is or the central bank's attempt to fight Bitcoin by placing GPTC in the equation, protecting it, and now putting GPTC as a bug into the entire system? Because Grayscale, to the far left, has a lot of money, $1 billion to enter into the crypto space. And guess what? All that fund, if you look at the left, GPTC passed. So GPTC now became this fund, a trust, right? That now start getting money or get lent or put into the system. So you see that Grayscale money from the left side go into Genesis, go into Three Arrows Capital, go into DCG. DCG and SEC and GBTC are all connected to the SEC, right? Files for ETF. So SEC get a 2% management fee, no matter what you say it, right? And then you have Three Arrows Capital. Luna got screwed up because of some infighting going on in the space, right? But all that money touches all the exchanges that you guys are using out there. Voyager, Coinbase, Genesis, Gemini, list it. It goes on. Even worse, the altcoins that you guys are buying out there. Guess what? DCG, Alameda Research has invested a ton of money in those guys. Your market cap, whatever you want to call it, the news media that you're getting your information from, have all been infiltrated. It's crazy. So this chart that Brazen is showing you guys right now is showing you how terrible, how much infiltration has gone into the space. Let me go a little bit and see if I can show you that. So to the far left, you have the trading, the exchanges, right? Almost Coinbase is there, Kraken is there, Bitfly. All those guys are owned by DCG. Right below that are all the altcoins that you would think that you're doing great with, right? You have Filecoin, you have Zcash, we have Bitcoin itself, which is not an altcoin, which has also been infiltrated with some of this money. If all of this money gets pulled out, what's going to happen? You have the banking systems like Ripple, also owned by DCG. You got BitPay, you got Ripio. Like, come on, guys. If you have that buying altcoins, you might want to think about it twice because if all of this money gets pulled out, or when it gets pulled out, those altcoins are dead in the water. Where's going to be the money to pay the developers to develop the application? Gone, dead.
Well, you can always print more money, dude.
Well, that's what they've been doing with Grayscale.
Yeah. Well, look, man. I think could be. I mean, once this is done and wherever Bitcoin ends up after this, right? I think that we'll probably be in a better place than ever, right? And actually, I would like for this to be cleaned out. I don't want this to be hanging over. Uh,
But
I don't
there's
know, the head of the
there's
financial segment
but there's
forever.
talks about bringing FTX back. There's some big money behind these guys. I don't know who these people are, but we need to figure out who the owner of DCG is and who he knows because or Grayscale because those guys are the ones that are making all of this happen.
Absolutely.
This FTX SPF guy, I think they're gonna eventually kill him, given all like how did you mess up our freaking plan, man? And it literally fell apart.
Well, you know, there is some other writings that I've seen on that that kind of goes to a much deeper level. But let's read some comments before we carry on here. Boom, bigger crypto in the house. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Bigger crypto says good info. Thank you, sir. We thought it was good info too, so we wanted
That's
to
what we
share
share
with
with
everyone and get
yeah.
your feedback. Right, you guys think about it. Good morning to El Debnam L, of course. And what does I want to say? Tap the like and comment. Yes, I keep
Do
forgetting
it,
to
do
say
it,
this.
do
Ladies
it.
and gentlemen, please like
Yeah.
and yeah, share the video as well. You know, all 13 of us, we should definitely be able to do that. All right. So let's do this thing. El Debnam says it's a money laundering something.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I was
Period.
clicking on it. It's money laundering. That's it. Period.
Yep.
There you go. That is what it is. You know, I think it's unfortunate that the rules get switched up depending
Bent.
on who
Yeah.
you are.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and because if anyone else did this, you know, well,
But
yeah,
the
it's
sad
not
part
going to
is
be.
that the entire ecosystem
Yeah,
is involved in this.
this is true.
The only thing I don't see here is Binance.
You know, that's an interesting one. We'll see how that plays out. I really don't want to say anything about Binance yet because I'm
Yeah.
still trying to figure out what those guys are up to.
Yeah.
And of course, last but not least, here we have the Metaverse president. Look at that. He
Even the
says,
folks from the metaverse are coming.
Metaverse president says he's loving the content. Did you know that the World Economic Forum is having a metaverse situation?
Oh, well, what?
Yeah.
Are they having an event in the metaverse?
I don't know, man, but they need to shut those guys down. They're clowns, right? So, Big K Crypto also says it's a bigger play with Sam Bankman. He is part of the bigger picture. This is true.
Yeah.
Well, what are your final thoughts on this one, sir? Because I think for me, and I think the main thing that we wanted to share today is to just, I guess, inform everyone who is viewing us that these are some things to consider as the market carries on, right? And maybe you can implement it into your strategy. For me, I see this kind of getting to in the event where, like you said, there's a massive pool in liquidity. Maybe some of these companies file for bankruptcy. The unfortunate thing is that they might get some help. Like you were saying, there is a bank,
Yes.
currently trying to bail these guys out. Which I get it maybe will help some people not lose their money, but at the same time, I think that this type of stuff is the cancer that we need to remove from the
Bro.
digital asset space.
I think we have the pharmaceuticals in the crypto space. So
What is that?
basically, what's happening now is this. They're going to try to find a way to cover all of this up. I don't know how this is possible. I forgot what the name of the bank is. It's a bank that is insured by the FDIC. It's a real estate
Yeah,
bank.
some real estate.
Some
bank.
real estate bank. And they're now going to come in and invest $1 billion or more to now buy out a lot of these ventures. So now your bank, one of the biggest banks in the real estate space, which real estate is a major aspect of the United States revenues, is now getting involved in this, which now forces the FDIC to also now get involved if they fail. So now it's not a situation of too big to fail. So now the whole contagion effect of can crypto impact the entire general market happen? Perfectly, yes. If all of this fails, the entire market is coming down. It's like a global failure because the banks are going to fail, and if the banks fail, FDIC have to come in. Now the federal government got to print more money or just let everything fail.
Yeah.
Which is why we keep telling folks, I know you want to make money with the altcoins, pump and get money out, but what if you get stuck holding the bag? Bitcoin is the only one that will still exist if and after all of this goes down, because Bitcoin still does what it's supposed to do without all of these banking schemes that are there to just make people at the top a lot more money,
Yeah.
which you see a lot of in the Ethereum space. If you look at those apps that we showed you guys earlier, those are all a ton of Ethereum based application. Bitcoin is just straight to the point. Stack your sats, buy your Bitcoin, and use a simple layer 2 solution, Lightning Network, and life is great. Not all of these freaking schemes out here.
Well, look, man, I'm going to give you another. I'm going to actually throw a wrench in the whole equation there.
I like wrenches.
Something to think about. But before I do that, let's read some comments here because we're wrapping up after this as well. So, PFC Wells says, don't forget the SEC is a creditor of FTX and they own a bank.
Yeah, that bank. What's
No
that in?
one
Is it
names.
Colorado?
A bank no one names.
Yeah, Fetal. What's the name of that bank?
Yes. I know
bank
the
that
bank you're
bought-
talking about. Standby. I believe it's. Hang on, give me 1 second. Yeah, I got you, brother. Emergent.
Yeah.
Emergent is the name of that bank, and that is the one. And of course, we have Chris Betty in the comments with us. She says Binance is China's FTX.
Oh, snap.
Oh snap! Wait, what does that mean?
That means Binance is fucking. Excuse my French. We are also screwed up with Binance as well.
Binance. Okay, well, there we go. Morning again, Warriors, Crypto Society. Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning, fam from Casper. Now, something else to think about before we wrap this up. Despite all of this, and despite the fact that if this was to play out, the markets would be crashing massively. We also have to think about the fact that it's seeming that the Feds are planning to pivot,
Talk to me.
which means they're going to go back to money printing, which means they're going to pump all the assets. So how do those two things balance out, right? This crashing while the Fed is pumping money into the economy as well. How is that going to play out? I don't know. So I'm just sharing it with you
Well,
guys.
the Feds are also accusing big tech, which these guys are involved in,
Yeah.
of controlling democracy. But big tech is what the country needs to pump up and print more money. Because once they print more money, big tech goes up. So in a way, we're all entangled in a jacked up situation. You want to screw up crypto, the entire market crashes. You want to pump it back up, crypto pumps up as well.
Right. We'll wait and see. All I know is Bitcoin is going to do its thing. Now, final comment here before we roll out. FTX is going to be this era's Mt. Gox. It really is.
It is.
I would say.
It's playing out
It
already.
really is. The man
Yeah.
scammed the whole world. Any final thoughts, sir, before we wrap this one out?
Folks, if you have not liked and subscribed, as you can see what we just gave you guys today, we have a lot more of that. We have the videos, and of course on the Gentleman of Crypto, it's firing every day. Please go ahead, like, share, subscribe. And we already saw you guys comment. We like them. Keep bringing it on. We'll be back next week Monday, but at Stack, also check us out over there. We have a lot of videos and shots, fun shots too.
Yeah. Very interesting shorts on that side.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on all of our centralized platforms listed below. Stack on YouTube, of course. Stackfin on Twitter, Facebook. We're just there because old people are
grandpas and
there.
grandmas are there.
We don't want to leave them behind. And then, of course, Instagram and Spotify. Stack.
Yeah.
Until next time, praise and out.
Check us out.
See, you delayed with the buttons, bro.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Beginner levels. I'm kidding.